So you made it all the way to Nabad. I would argue that the rest of your run is nothing but smooth sailing from here on out, but I'd be lying, especially if you're someone that's prone to caving underneath pressure. But don't worry, I'm gonna try to make this level as easy as I did with all of the previous guides. Now if you guys are brand new to the channel or brand new to this series, these are level by level guides on how to complete Doom Eternal on Ultranightmare. They are also tailored for console players, so if you're a console peasant just like myself, don't worry about it, I got you covered. However, if you are PC Master Race to the max, that's perfectly fine as well. I still address things like demon spawns, how to traverse arenas, why I enter fights or do certain things that I do, and they're just guides in general to give you a basic outline of every single fight and to help you approach every fight differently, if not practically, mentally. Sometimes you just need to get out of that little rut and start thinking about different combinations that you can do. And one more thing before we get started, I got a new script writer and he made it very apparent to share with you guys that over 85% of my daily viewers are not subscribed. So make sure you're subscribed so that way you can join the Discord and not go get fucked. I was trying to find a way to smooth that out properly. I failed. Starting up Nabad immediately, I'd recommend picking up the Sentinel Crystal before even pushing the front door, because as soon as you finish Nabad, you're gonna go back to the Fortress of Doom one last time, and I recommend before taking on Necrovol, Urdak, Final Sin, make sure in the Fortress of Doom you have all of the Sentinel Crystals, and if you don't use any of the weapon mods, like I pretty much don't on console, get any extra Praetor Suit points. That way you have your fundamentals covered, you have your grenades, your ice bombs covered, and it's just gonna make those final levels that much easier on you. So pick that up. Once you do this, you're gonna press the main door, and once you do so, there's gonna be a Hell Knight that spawns on your left and a Cyber Mancubus that spawns on your right. There's a couple ways to do this. If you're someone that panics, you can ice bomb the Cyber Mancubus, backpedal a little bit, separate the Hell Knight from the Cyber Mancubus. You can meat hook or yeet hook, as we call it around here, the Cyber Mancubus, throwing yourself over him, which confuses the AI sometimes, basically giving you enough time to get some extra shots off before he turns around. If you don't know how to do that, I have a guide that's going to pop up right here in the top right hand corner of your screen that you can go ahead and click on. And that's going to tell you everything you need to know on how to throw yourself over demons, how to time your jumps, how to close gaps, skipping optional fights, and I think it's a pretty good basis for understanding the full potential of the meat hook. So check that out. After you deal with this Hell Knight and the Cyber Mancubus, there's going to be some extra fodder demon. You can do whatever you wish with them. It might be a good idea to hit them with a flame belch and then fire off a grenade, letting them die, dropping off pools of extra armor, as armor does stay on the ground for about 20 seconds, because once you open this door, there's going to be a Cacodemon that spawns and a Marauder. So having a little extra resource of armor on the ground is definitely going to be helpful. Now once the door opens, the Marauder is going to rush you, and there's going to be a Cacodemon, like I said, that spawns sometimes on the right or left of the bridge. What I like to do is immediately prioritize that Cacodemon by firing off a grenade or a sticky bomb in its mouth, and then meat hooking yourself over to him, finishing him off with a quick glory kill, maybe even hitting him with a flame belch if that is available. Be aware though, I don't know if it's fixed now, but there was a bug where if you meat hooked a Cacodemon before the grenade in his mouth went off, he'll spit the grenade out, recover, and dash at you or lunge at you. So for the love of God, do not make that mistake. Once the Cacodemon is taken care of, I immediately try to go out into the open area, trying to separate the Marauder from the zombies behind him, as when those zombies are firing at you and the Marauder takes that damage, they could accidentally trigger his wolf. So what I like to do is bring him kind of down the stairs, fight him in this open space to eliminate the possibility of this fight becoming needlessly complicated. As I always say in these gameplays though, these guides are nice outlines, but they're not things that you need to do to a T. There's going to be a lot of improvising when you play. You'll notice that yes, even though I fought the Marauder in this open space, I retreated back up the stairs, meat hooked the zombie, killed him immediately for that extra armor, and then fought the Marauder right here one-on-one. As long as you're in a position where you're fighting basically on your terms and you're not running the risk of his wolf being accidentally spawned by fodder demon, it really does not matter where you're at. So just take care of the Marauder right here one-on-one. After that, there may be some remaining fodder demon that might have respawned. Go ahead and take care of them if you want. Hit them with a flame belch, get some of your armor back, pick up this extra fuel canister for a potential third chainsaw pickup, which will get rid of a heavy demon very quickly. On the other side of the bridge, you're going to come across some fodder demon and a Mancubus. You can ice bomb him, throw yourself over him, get some shots off with the Ballista Super Shotgun combo. Not a problem at all. There is also a Praetor Suit point right here before dropping down in the hole in the ground. I recommend grabbing that before pushing forward. Now, entering this arena is going to be the first big challenge of Nabad. You're going to be coming across an Archvile. Your main priority as soon as entering this arena is you want to pinpoint where the hell he's going to be. To my knowledge, there are 3 potential spawns. There's this spawn right here in this gameplay where you notice he's right above the area you enter from. He can also spawn on the right side of the arena right here, or opposite of that on the left side of the arena. Either way, you want to keep an eye out for where he's spawning and immediately prioritize him. You don't want to have him be alive for too long because he's going to be buffing all the demons in this arena and constantly be spawning in more. So you want to prioritize him ASAP. Maybe hit him with an ice bomb, drop a frag grenade, lock on burst, a ballista, super shotgun. If you're quick enough, you can probably take care of him before the risk of any demon spawning in even arises. Either way, the main key here is definitely the ice bomb. You want to utilize that to the fullest potential. To take care of the Archvile, just take care of any other remaining demons he might have spawned. I'd also recommend, well, for one, there's going to be a mastery token. Definitely grab that before moving forward. And depending on your skill and confidence level, maybe consider taking care of the secret encounter that's in the spot. The secret encounter consists of a Doom Hunter, a Pan Elemental, a Cacodemon, and some Fodder Demon. What I like to do is immediately prioritize the Cacodemon, take care of it with a quick Arbalest Blast, focus all my attention on the Pain Elemental, then switch over to the Doom Hunter. Now my Mars Core guide, I give you a nice alternative on how to get rid of his craft very quickly. So here's a quick reminder. Ice Bomb to freeze him, Grenade, Blood Punch, Super Shotgun gets rid of his craft pretty quickly. Once his craft is taken care of, you can just finish him off with the nice Ballista Super Shotgun combo. Once he's taken care of, there's going to be 2 Fodder Demon that you're going to have to take care of in order for this secret encounter to be completed. So just be aware of that. They have to be killed. Once you come out of the toxic water, there's going to be a Praetorcy point immediately behind you. Grab that, and you can actually skip this entire fight. Just run by all these demons, head over to the door, and activate the cutscene. Next, we're going to come into this next big arena where right off the bat, you got to deal with a Dread Knight, a Cyber Mancubus, and some other smaller demons as well. What I recommend is trying to take care of the Cyber Mancubus when he's up here. You notice that I meat hook the Dread Knight, throw myself up on these platforms, and I prioritize the Cyber Mancubus. I keep my distance, ensuring that he can't really touch me. I have enough lee room to dodge any incoming projectiles, and then I immediately turn my attention over to the Pain Elemental. Once the Pain Elemental is taken care of, I jump down here, taking care of the next Cyber Mancubus. Turn around, not forgetting that there is still a Dread Knight, but also keeping my eyes on a Cacodemon that has now spawned on the other side of the arena. It's a pretty straightforward fight. Just make sure you keep your distance from the more troublesome demons. Make sure you also don't accidentally back up into any Fodder Demon and get caught off guard. In my Exotian Cultist based guides, I talk about how you can utilize jump pads to make sure that demons can't touch you. Just pace yourself. If you can, find key moments to prioritize or isolate key demons, and you should be just fine. Especially if you're constantly taking advantage of the upper floors, you know, where the Mancubus was, or on the opposite end where you gotta hit the lever. Worst case, you can always retreat to those 2 positions to disengage, see where all the demons are, re-strategize, prioritize, and then move from there. Once this fight's taken care of, you're going to move into some extra platforming with some toxic water, and at the end of this, you're going to come into this small room where you got to deal with, not in this particular order, but ultimately an Archvile, Baron of Hell, Whiplash, Carcass, some Prowlers, and some extra Fodder Demon. Luckily for us, the game gives us a BFG ammo pickup in the center of the room. If you don't have any ammo for it, pick that up. You're going to save that for when the Archvile shows up. I'd also say this is a room that becomes much easier if you know how to get around demons utilizing the meat hook. That's going to give you so much more room in terms of being elusive, circling around demons, getting some extra shots off. It's just helpful to know in general. I mean, this is a key thing with every fight, but I feel like it's that much more important since you're in such tighter quarters. You're going to want to isolate every single super heavy or every single heavy demon. You're going to treat all of them like a mini boss. You're not going to fight them in the center of the room, and you're also not going to fight them with all these other fodder demons around you or around them because you don't want to run the risk of getting stuck. So let's slow this down. I'm going to walk you step by step how I do this fight. When I enter, I immediately go for that BFG shot, normally because I don't check my ammo, so I still go over it just in case. Then I take a hard left and prioritize the demons that are spawned right here in this corridor. Notice I went specifically for the Carcass over the Dread Knight because I know I can move around the Hell Knight. Meanwhile, the Carcass is going to be a pain in my ass. I also take the opportunity right here to chainsaw to give me a little extra breathing room to dash sideways. But essentially, you want to focus on those demons in the left corridor, backpedal to the corridor on your right, and then use the whole length of the hallway to your advantage, including the jump pad. So what I would do is, if I didn't have my meat hook right here, I would drop down, let the jump pad throw me up, use my meat hook, and then swing around the Hell Knight while hitting him with the super shotgun and then following up with the ballista shot if that didn't kill him. Take care of the whiplash and then immediately focus on the Baron of Hell. But you notice that I decide to not fight him here because then I would have gotten stuck. So instead, I move over to the next corridor, bait him in the center, freeze him, and then use this open space to allow me to swing around, get a different position on the Baron of Hell, and just get a bunch of extra shots off. Then you notice I go back into the corridor, use the length of the hallway, and just keeping my distance. You also notice that instead of going all the way back, I instead double back and go back to the center of the room, just because the majority of the demons were in the hallway and I have all this extra movement out here. Once the Baron is taken care of, there's going to be an Archvile that spawns back this way, and this is where the BFG shot comes into play. As soon as the Archvile spawns, you're going to shoot in the back corner of the wall, and then after enough damage is done to him, you want to immediately follow it up with a super shotgun blast. After this area is cleared, you can go ahead and take care of this last secret encounter, although be aware, this secret encounter consists of just a Marauder and a handful of fodder demon, and also don't grab the cheat code standing here like a fucking moron. Obviously you don't want to die due to being unable to move, but just like how you did with the fight, if you can isolate the Marauder from the rest of the demons, kind of pulling them off into the corridor like I did here, it should be no problem. But just like with every other secret encounter, if you don't have that level of confidence with the Marauder, don't risk it. I know I've been pretty much hit and miss with these collectibles, but I want to point these ones out because they're easy to miss and you're not really going out of your way to collect them. But as soon as you throw yourself out of this hole here, if you turn around, there's going to be an extra sentinel battery, and if you go all the way around the Titan on the other side of this arena, there is an extra Praetor suit point you can pick up. After snagging the Crucible out of the Titan's chest, you're going to deal with a Cybermancubus, a Dread Knight, a Prowler, a Whiplash, a Cacodemon, and then a Marauder. I always immediately prioritize the Cybermancubus. I fought him kind of sloppy here. This is a good way to show you how to recover. I retreat to the jump pad, I throw myself on the upper level, grab the health pack that's here, and then I close that gap between me and the Dread Knight. I focus my attention on him, meat hook myself over to the Cybermancubus, go back to the top of the stairs, finishing off the Dread Knight, a quick Arbalest shot to the Cacodemon, and then I focus on the Whiplash, Prowler, and then the Marauder. Small arena with a pretty intense fight as far as the demon combinations go, and I think this is a good way to show you that even when you mess up, as long as you use the majority of your space and you're aware of each demon's position, you can always recover regardless of what's being thrown at you. Especially if you're being smart with things like chainsaws and glory kills. Remember, you're invulnerable during those animations, and if you're aware of where the demons are, you can always immediately dash in a direction that's safe, so that way you can re-strategize, rethink, reapproach the fight that you're in. In the following arena, you can actually completely bypass this entire fight. I go around here just to collect some extra chainsaw fuel that's here in the center, but you can immediately just dash across and not even worry about anything in this fight. Just be aware, if you do this, the pain elemental will follow you, so you can't really escape that. Once you make it to the other side and you're on top of this elevator, there's going to be another pain elemental that spawns in front of you, Cacodemon, some Prowlers, and at least one Spectre. There's also a Praetor suit point here, which I recommend grabbing. I'm pretty sure you can skip this entire fight too if you wanted, but considering that there is a Sentinel Crystal on the bottom floor and all these demons will follow you, it's better to just go through the fight. Just prioritize that first pain elemental. Make sure there's no Cacodemons immediately around you. If they are, I would recommend prioritizing them first, going for the Prowlers and then the Pinkies. And the reason why that way is because your meat hook, if you're using it correctly with some smart positioning and smart angling, it'll get you out of harm's way with any Pinky while immediately eliminating that Prowler. Just take your time, easy pacing, utilize grenades, ice bombs, should be fine. Before leaving the area, you're going to want to snag that Praetor suit point at the back of the room, and then before dashing across this little broken bridge here, you want to drop down, turn around, and the next Sentinel Crystal is in here. The next couple minutes of the mission are a handful of platforming, so I'm going to skip all that. You're going to come across a very small room that's going to throw at you a Carcass, a couple Prowlers, a Spectre, and a handful of Whiplashes. The Prowlers are easy prey to quick ballista shot or a super shotgun blast to the face. You can utilize ice bombs on the Whiplashes to obviously freeze them and then follow them up with a lock-on burst. And I think the main key to this fight is, since the room is divided in half and none of the demons are going to hit you over the little barrier or the side of the wall that you can jump over, take advantage of that. Utilize that, where if all the demons are cornering you on one side of the ring, jump on the other side, so that way that gives you enough time to pick them off as they come around that corner, or by jumping back and forth, that'll give you an opportunity to isolate specific demons and pick them off that way. In the following small encounter, it's basically the same exact room, although from the opposite end. In this room, you're going to deal with a Cybermancubus, some Prowlers, and a Dread Knight. Again, my dumbass handled this pretty sloppy, but as you notice, I retreated downstairs, kind of stood midway because I wanted the demons to come from a specific direction and not from behind me. I wait down here a second, trying to bait the Dread Knight and the Prowler away from that Cybermancubus, hit the Cybermancubus with a quick meat hook for at least a little bit of armor, and then try and finish off that Dread Knight. Once the Dread Knight's taken care of, it's nothing but fodder demon. And that's it. That is the last fight until you get the Crucible. And do I really have to walk anyone through this Crucible fight? Yes. Nah, I think as long as you stick to the fundamentals, this fight's pretty straightforward. I would recommend, though, even though there is a plethora of Crucible pickups, I would say save the Crucible for the heavier demons. You know, the Archvile, the Baron of Hell, Pain Elemental, Demons. The Crucible is basically an I don't want to fight you weapon, and use it that way on heavier demons. It's ideal to use the meat hook to traverse the area. Of course, there's a handful of jump pads you can also use to your advantage to kind of stay out of the reach of those more pressure heavy demons, but as long as you're constantly staying on the move, the fight should be perfectly fine. And that's it. You guys have successfully completed Terrace Nabad on Ultra Nightmare. Next up is Necrovol, which I will hopefully come out with sooner. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. If you guys have extra tips or tricks or anything like that, I always pin the most helpful comments when it comes to these guides. Of course, Doom is one of those games, or at least Doom Eternal is anyways, that you can approach fights a little differently, prioritize demons in different orders, use different weapon combinations, and yet still reach the same results, which is beating the damn level. And lastly, before I go, I mean, it's tradition around here. If you guys haven't joined the Discord yet, link to that is down below. It's a great way to find some different ways to beat Ultra Nightmare and Doom Eternal, bash other games that aren't Doom, or even talk shit about Doom channels. Mine gets brought up a lot. It's a good time. You should join. Like always, guys, my name is Cynic. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you guys did find this helpful. But until next time, see y'all later.